A lot of my pictures are disappearing on me, and this is from basic training in 1994. The back of this picture says, "The phone and the beer are going to Packer, Mort Packer. Samuel can really juggle." Birmingham, Samuel, his mom signed me and Packer out on graduation night from basic training, and we went to a Mexican restaurant, and I had virgin strawberry daiquiri, and we got to stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was nice to be off post. And she was sweet enough to take pictures of the graduation ceremony and send them home to my mom. The back of this picture said that we all scored 8 and that the machine must be broken. And once I got to permanent party, I was really proud of my room. That picture has a rocket my grandma sent me in the mirror. I spent like $1,000 decorating my room, and the commander would always bring visitors through it. And the duct over my bed, the air conditioning duct in the summertime would condense so much it would rain on me. And I was a guide arm bearer, which means that I walked in front of formations carrying the flag. And that was the picture off of my top secret security clearance badge. I felt bad for keeping it. I forgot to bring it back, and that's really bad. And this is one of the places I really like to go running. I got to be a running freak at Fort Hood. And then I went to Korea, and this was my room, and I was like totally striking a pose, and I'm in my mop gear. And this is this bass player playing in a chapel in Korea, and it was just this super wonderful moment. I've always wanted to do something artistic with these pictures, but I've never gotten around to it. And I think her name was Sergeant Blackburn. I was riding the bus with her in Korea, and she was just the sweetest. I loved her. That was my room in Korea. And when you first get to Korea, they have you stand in front of the sign. I went to Camp Humphreys. And my second tour ended up at Fort Hood, and just before the war started, George Bush talked to us, and I pouted because I didn't want to go to war even though I voted for him. When I was in Iraq, I got to go on a helicopter ride in a Black Hawk, and I took a couple pictures of the Black Hawk because I thought that was awesome. I took this picture of the desert because there were actually like formations. Most of the desert was more like the left side of the picture. And this is the place where people lived. Somebody joked that if we bombed everybody back to the Stone Age, we'd set them back a week. And I have no idea what the structure is, or why it was smoking, or why it was all black, but I'm sure it must have had something to do with, you know, weapons of mass destruction. This picture probably was closer to Baghdad. There were a lot of, like, forests of palm trees. And they had small wheat fields that they worked by hand, and this is kind of a mosque in a city area. And then the guys I was riding the helicopter with, Osborne, 2 Chinooks. I darkened this so that you could see the row of square mud houses behind Hilsinger. And the refueling of the Black Hawk that we rode in. And a picture from a gun truck. It's just a typical Baghdad city street, and the gun truck was a regular cargo, a mosque, a regular cargo truck, and we built like a makeshift sand barricade. That is our armor, and that was our camo guy who was building the latrine. Sergeant Smidley, camo communications. We did a lot of radio watch in Iraq. Ortiz taking a nap and reading a book in one of the trucks. One of the trucks with a for sale sign on it. And our armory. This is in Iraq, by the way. I'm sure I said that. And this is where Ortiz slept. And this is where Sergeant Smidley slept, and he was afraid of malaria, so he used a net, and he took all the medication and stuff. These were our cooks. It was so hot inside the kitchen trailer over those boilers and 120-degree heat. This was on a happier day. We had like a special meal day where we got extra rations and fresh food. This was, I think, a T-72 or a T-54 Russian tank that was captured. It was really cool. The inside had foamy stuff in it. This is Specialist Chief, a Navajo Indian mechanic that I worked with. This is where I lived. I improved it and planted palm trees and put a net over it. This was my soldier, Lopez. We didn't have laundry facilities, so we got pretty dirty and stayed that way. So where the barracks, where most of the people stayed, was. This is where we were on mail detail, and we would call up blood and throw a package. And we were on lunch during mail detail. And this is back in Kuwait, where we were so skinny that they decided to fatten us up. This is on our way home in Ireland, and I was just so impressed at seeing something green that I took lots of pictures of it because I was like, oh, it's green. And on the airplane, I watched Finding Nemo and The Italian Job, and everybody had a beer in Ireland, and they sang on the plane. It was 9/11 when we returned, and then when I got back I had my picture taken. The end. Yeah. Thanks.